Hello, YouTubers, and welcome to Mark My Words, the Takeover chat for EHonda, who is apparently currently on vacation in California with his sons, and I think he's going to see family over there. So, ask a whole bunch of people to come on tonight, but, oh, and speak of the devil, as soon as I go live, we have a soulless ginger in the house.
A wild ginger appears.
Yeah. You're outnumbered, Ohio. You got two gingers in the chat.
Oh, no. To be fair, I do have redness in my beard, though, so.
We're going to take your soul. Your soul is ours.
What's going on? How's Texas storms?
They ain't getting shit around me.
Okay. I know there was a bunch of people that had like crazy storms going on there the other day. I forget what part of Texas it was in, but they had like a bunch of like, I think it was baseball size hail or something.
Yeah, we got baseball size hail. I want to say a couple weeks ago. It actually destroyed half my crops.
Oh, that's no good, man.
Yeah, I lost all my squash plants and all but like one or two of my zucchinis.
Yeah, that's no good.
You need to sacrifice a child. No, right to the rain gods.
Yeah, we definitely need some rain here. It's so fucking hot and humid. Like Satan's asshole over here. Like he's shitting fire. So what do y'all got going on?
Yeah, not much. Can talk about a couple things here tonight. But how are you guys doing? How's Leo doing over there in Chicago?
It's just been shit, man. I've just been staying in the house. I go out to just go to the store and I'll stay in the house and play Xbox. That's it.
I haven't really been able to do much lately myself. The only time I left the house was, what was it, Wednesday or Thursday last week for my follow-up for my surgery. Other than that, I've just been staying home and pretty much resting or sleeping.
How'd that go?
Oh, it went good. I don't know if any of y'all already knew because I posted it, but pathology came back and it's not cancer, so
nice.
Praise Jesus on that. It was a mass. It was a breast tissue mass.
Okay.
You should stop having those large breasts.
Yeah, no. Matt told me. See, I told you, it's just your growing breast. It's natural. Motherfucker.
Transitioning. A nice natural transitioning.
Right.
Well, that's good news then.
Oh, hell yeah. You know, man, immediately I was like, thank you, Lord Jesus. I was fucking stressed out to the max, man, worrying. I know I shouldn't have been, but damn it, I'm only human. And
no, right, it's understandable.
Plus, my aunt is recovering from surgery, having a surgery and going through radiation for breast cancer. And I know people think men can't get it, but yes, men can get breast cancer.
Yep, you can get all kinds of cancers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this past fucking week, dude, it's just been a giant, major fucking roller coaster.
The only cancer difference between men and women is prostate versus ovarian, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like everything else is the same. So
tell that to the other people.
Right.
With the imaginary parts.
Exactly.
814 genders that exist now.
Yeah.
I started watching this British show this morning called The Change. And I was specifically watching it because like the premise of it was basically some woman like going through menopause and stuff like that. And it kind of sounded like it could be funny. And it was like 5 minutes into episode 2, they went full non-binary. And I'm like, God damn it. Seriously. I just want to watch a fucking show.
Yeah. Was it 2 days ago? I started trying to watch the new season of was it Star Trek? So was it Beyond now? Some shit.
Yeah, World Beyond.
Yeah, like 15 minutes into the show, a girl with two mommies. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah. We just want to watch a show to enjoy the show. We don't want to have political bullshit shoved down our throat in every fucking aspect of our lives.
Well, it's like the same thing with comics after Disney acquired Marvel in 2010. Like, it was fine up to then, and then all of a sudden it was like 2011, 2012 was when they started introducing all these other characters that were,
Right.
non-existent.
I mean, granted, I have friends in real life that are, lesbians and in relationships with kids and shit like that. But when it's a forced thing that they do to something that just happened naturally on a TV show or movie, you could tell the difference. And it just when it's like in your face like that, and they have to mention it.
I think it was Glad was the ones that came out with it a few years ago, and they specifically said, I think this was like 2018 or 19, somewhere in there, where they're like, we want 50% recognition on every show across the board in the next like 5 to 10 years, and it's like, there's not that many of you, man. Come on.
Yeah, no, that's what pisses me off is the percentage of people that are quote unquote transgender is so fucking small of a percent, dude. Percentage wise, and it just they're screaming the fucking loudest and demanding the world bow down to them and curtail to their ass.
No, but like what Bill Maher said, there's a lot of people that's not really trans that are transitioning just for clout. Yeah.
There was some chick who was talking about the other day, and she was specifically saying it's not only that, but it's also a lot of people being on the autism spectrum, and when they find out they're actually they're on the spectrum and stuff like that, it turns out they're actually like other stuff too, whether it be like schizophrenic-ish or whatever.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
It's actual mental illness then.
Well, technically, a lot of the people that are like that do have a form of fucking mental illness to one degree or another. In my opinion, I mean, I'm not a medical professional, so I'm just giving my opinion.
Well, like I was telling Ohio before we aired, there's a couple people that we know that kind of off the hinge on
yeah, no shit.
Certain things.
That shit fucking crazy.
Right. We thought they were normal people. They seemed like normal people for the time.
Right.
But and it just takes
one instance.
Yeah. That can just set them off.
Yep.
Things get weird.
It's fucking insanity.
Yeah, I remember when I came into this community and it was like, I think it was right around June or so of 2020. And, or no, actually, I think it was before that. It was probably like March, April of 2020, maybe. And it was Roro on one of the panels at the time talking about the Antifa girlfriend. And I'm just like, wait, what?
Oh, yeah, I remember because, you say girlfriend. I'm like, what? He has a girlfriend?
Well, no, I was more to the point of like, who the fuck is dating Antifa members? I thought this was supposed to be like sort of a right-wing / centrist people here.
No shit. Nah, that with me. I'm like girlfriend. Oh, girlfriend. Right. That's why I was at first. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because it was like a ACAB tattoo, and I'm like, wait, what? So, but
I mean, all the women I mess with are, like 100% vote Democrat.
Yeah, I mean,
they don't know why, but they do.
I have no love lost for feds, obviously, in this country. I think there's a few good cops I've personally met, and that's at least one I went to high school with. But yeah, there's been a lot of bad ones out there for years now. Unfortunately, don't get taken off forces like they need to be.
Nope.
Which actually brings us to the first story of the day I wanted to talk about here on this chat, which is actually in your neck of the woods, Leo. New Illinois bill would allow non-U.S. citizens to serve as law enforcement.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
I didn't get a chance to read the article.
Yeah, it says federal law prohibits non-citizens from working as law enforcement. Illinois is looking to change that. Illinois House and State Senate recently passed Bill 3751, allowing some work-eligible non-U.S. citizens to serve in law enforcement roles in the state.
So basically, what they're trying to do is make another instance happen. Like, where was it? Baltimore, was it? Where that? I think he was Arab or something.
It was Minnesota. It was
Minnesota.
A guy named Noir or something.
Yeah.
He was the first Somali on the police force.
And and just killed, fucking executed that bitch.
Yep, he killed this woman who was calling the cops on some stranger that was in her bushes or some shit. It says bill awaits Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker's signature. Current law U.S. Code 18922 G5A prohibits gun possession for illegal aliens, but yet somehow they'd be able to serve as law enforcement in the state of Illinois if this passes.
Makes no sense.
Doesn't. I feel like there would 100% be like this is the thing I've always been told, at least at a state level here with the whole states' rights thing, is it's like federal law trumps state law no matter what, even with states' rights. So this definitely would not be constitutional at all.
No.
And I feel like it wouldn't really need that much of a lawsuit to knock it down immediately, is what it would be. So,
not to mention, that to me, it's just furthering destroying our economy, because that's all they're doing with this, flooding the migrant, the illegal immigrants into our borders, or through our borders. I mean, is just trying to collapse our economy. Now you're going to give these motherfuckers the ability to be cops. I just see all kinds of bad shit happening. One, they don't appreciate this country. Two, they don't know a damn thing about being a cop. And to me, they would make just worst fucking police ever.
So according to this statement, it would be the DACA kids that would be the eligible ones for this.
And three, it'll be a lot of corruption.
Exactly.
It's exactly what Mexico is right now. You have Mexico is kicking off like crazy because, they just run from the cops there because they are on the take so much.
Yeah. The one thing that it will be known for sure is there'll be voting Democrats. I'm sure they'll eventually get voting rights too, because, reasons, bullshit reasons. But they'll also be loyal to the government. And that's what the government's looking for, is loyal subjects. So when they fucking really go after the people hard and heavy to, strip away our rights and put us in these 15-minute cities or whatever scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll have their own jackboot thugs that'll follow their commands to the letter. Without question.
Which, did you guys see that video about 15-minute cities the other day?
I saw it. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I've been dealing with a lot of shit.
It is crazy. I forget who the woman is talking about the stuff. Obviously, I can't play it because my audio is weird here. But yeah, she's basically discussing about how with the 15-minute cities, how they're introducing them in a couple of countries right now in European nations. And it would basically be a situation of, if you have like one grocery store in your 15-minute city or whatever the case be, you can't go to a competitive city unless you would be able to facial recognition scan. It's literally the plot of In Time, really, honestly, where you have to use the time to go through like different portals and shit like that to get all the way to the rich people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it is.
I believe it.
Absolutely nightmarish entirely.
Yeah, that movie In Time was fucking crazy. Just, all they were fucking prisoners, and they were work slaves. They had to work to live.
exactly. They had literally had to work to live.
Yep.
Because if they ran out of time, they would automatically die.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fucking Jesus Christ, man.
Which brings
I
us to
miss
the
I miss the
story,
America that I grew up with.
I don't know if you guys watch this video. I'm not going to play it because that would 100% give me a channel strike. It was a Vicious Videos video of a shootout in some convenience store. Quick Clot medical kit. Do you guys have it or do you carry it on you?
I have it.
No.
I don't carry it.
Okay. Because this video, if you actually watch it, is a good example of why you should carry at least one pack of Quick Clot on you at all times, because this dude gets shot pretty much directly in the femoral artery. And if he has some, he might live, but if he doesn't, I think he probably hobbled off and died, honestly.
Well, I don't
and it
really
does make me want to invest in it.
I don't foresee a package of Quick Clot by itself stopping a femoral artery bleed.
I mean, it might have been a nick, honestly, but he was bleeding like very fast out of that wound.
Exactly. That's my point. It's not as quick as if you had your brachial artery, cut. Because that brachial artery pumps more blood than if I remember correctly, than your heart has ability to pump. So it like drains you really fast. But yeah, shot in the femoral artery. Both what would help in conjunction with that would be having a
tourniquet of some kind.
Tourniquet, yes, thank you. And then doing the Quick Clot on top of it, would help. But yeah.
What about Israeli bandages?
Yeah, I mean, it should work.
Okay, because I was looking into some of this stuff this morning after I watched that video. And I'm like, what would be the best to invest in right now on like limited budget?
I know. What is the real popular one? It's like a CAD or something like that.
Something probably. I don't know.
I can't remember because I've got one somewhere. I have to go find it. I don't remember which one it is. But
I just
also,
Amazon linked Quick Clot this morning, and it was like talking about Israeli bandages. This is like one of the other things people picked up and stuff like that, and a couple other different things on that list. And I was like, oh, okay, well. Because the thing is, obviously, depending on where you would get shot, like you might survive, you might not with that kind of stuff. But if you don't have it at all, like your chances start diminishing very quickly, is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Daniel said he's got a Quick Clot in his IFAC that he carries in all his cars. Which is not, it's a damn good idea because you never know what's going to fucking happen.
Yeah, I'm just getting my medical bag together. I just got like some basic stuff in it so far. But I plan on buying like a tourniquet and all that.
Amazon's great for all that. I wouldn't personally buy like a pre-built med kit because a lot of that shit in that is just like cheap crap that they charge way too much for. Your best bet is just to build your own, piece by piece.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. But I do get some cheap crap too, just in case. I have I want to make multiple bags, just have a bunch of cheap crap in it, just for, whatever.
Yeah.
And then have like the good one. Like even with the cheap crap, at least you got something. Just have a stockpile of, stuff just in case.
I have a sewing kit because that's one thing that is, good to know too, is how to stitch up a wound. If you go on Amazon, they have suture kits you can buy. It's not very expensive. But also another good thing that you could get if you don't want to try your hand at suturing would be a wound stapler. Literally like a fucking staple gun just for wounds. You can pinch like a gash together and just staple that motherfucker closed. And it's not very much either. I keep forgetting to pick shit up. I suck at, when I think about stuff like that, I don't have the money for it. But when I do have the money for it, it's like so far back of the bus in my brain that, I don't think about it.
If you want to go like the really cheap route, a bunch of packs of super glue.
Yeah, they do have specific glue for wounds. super glue works fine. I did that to my finger, probably 20 years ago when I damn near cut my middle finger off.
The reason I specifically brought up super glue is if you ever watch deathmatch wrestling, a lot of those guys that'll cut themselves on the foreheads and stuff, they'll pinch those wounds together and just super glue the shit out of them after the matches and stuff.
Yep. See, Daniel said it. Just get the disposable staple gun.
Yeah.
It works great. It'll hurt like a motherfucker,
with like
but it
10
works.
or 20 of them or something, or what?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
It already comes preloaded with what, like 10 or 20 staples in it?
I don't know. I've never used one. I've seen them, obviously, because I was, online, and plus the shit we used to use, have on stock for as a EMT, all that, but I never personally used one. I do believe it comes preloaded, but I know it does come preloaded, but I don't know how many. I don't even know how many they hold. I need to pick one up. Yeah. They're very cheap. Daniel said they're only like $20. And it's worth highly.
I found one on Amazon right now for 10. It comes preloaded with 35 staples.
Yeah, see, I knew they come preloaded. I just didn't know how many.
This one is 24 and has 55 preloaded staples in it.
It's a good thing to have.
Yeah.
Like I said, especially if you don't feel comfortable or don't know how to sew. Sewing the skin is the same as sewing clothes. Not much difference at all. And I could easily sew my own wounds or staple my own wounds because that shit doesn't, it'll hurt, but it's not bad enough where I can't do it myself.
So apparently, I guess there was some pride event going on. I'm not sure what state this was in. But you had this chick who apparently decided to desecrate an American flag and make it a half pride flag.
Jesus.
And I will say to that, my father fought and died for that flag. So fuck these people.
Yeah, no shit. So many soldiers fought and died for that flag. That's just fucking major desecration.
Mm-hmm.
It's a slap in the face to any true American patriot or soldier or whomever. And they just think it's a laughing stock game. To see how much we can piss off the people that don't agree with us.
Yeah, see how
Go ahead.
Sorry. I say because even though how much they complain that they're victims, they all live a privileged life.
Yeah, no shit.
Right. No hardships whatsoever.
And honestly, from what I've seen, it's like at least like 95% plus white people.
Yep.
That are at the pride parades or what?
That are quote unquote transgender and all this other retarded bullshit.
It's definitely very high. Usually like white guys being turned into white girls by their mothers.
And they will also sit there and talk about how white men and this, that, and the other, or white privilege, this, that, and the other. You're talking about yourself, you retarded motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
You have lived, anyone these days have lived a pretty privileged life because, yes, there are people that are hardship, down on money or whatever, or even poor and everything. But for the majority, people live very privileged. TVs, cell phones, even poor fucking people, homeless people have fucking cell phones, smartphones. Yeah. Everything's basically done for you. You got now you can order all your groceries online and have it delivered to your fucking house. You don't have to go to the grocery store anymore if you don't want to. You don't want to cook dinner? Oh, DoorDash this shit. Or Uber Eats or whatever is in your area. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. It just shows that, our society these days have gotten really fucking lazy. Yep. There's a lot of people out there that would rather suck off the teat of every other American in the government than actually go out there and, put in an 8 to 10 hour a day or more.
Right, Daniel. It's all Night Strike's fault.
Fucking Night Strike.
He just farted the universe into existence. Did you guys see?
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, when I went to the doctor the other day, he took the bandage off, but there was what they call steri strips that were holding the incision together because he didn't use stitches, which I'm glad. And yesterday, those steri strips fell off, so I'm able to actually see the incision. And it's not bad. It's a little kind of jagged, but dude, it's all fucking all kinds of colors. And when he first told me, he goes, I'm gonna do an incision, and there's a straight line down the side of my nipple. He said, this is where I'm going. It's a straight, and he did a straight line. Well, looking at it, it's literally around half my nipple, like the areola part. And my guess is because when it completely heals, it'll help hide the scar. But dude, my nipple's concave.
Yeah.
It's like it's flat. It's like it got deflated. So they took like a 2-inch fucking mass out of my chest.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's funny.
Well, like the implants should help once you get those in. Pop it back out.
All right.
Yeah.
Dude, that motherfucker's hurting pretty damn good today. I overdid it the past couple of days because I'm not supposed to lift, push, pull, or anything. And I've just been saying fuck it because I got shit I got to do. And damn, motherfucker's hurting. And the motherfuckers only gave me like a partial script for pain medicine, which didn't last very long. I took my last one, what was it, last night, and that's one reason why my chest hurts.
Yeah, how many did you take?
Yeah, right, Daniel? You fucker. He said Corey's going to have to get one of those nipple pumps to get it looking right again. Hold on, guys. I got to pump my titty up real quick. All right, there. It matches the other.
Yeah. Especially when you wear the white beaters.
Yeah, right. 20 minutes later, you hear it deflate, so you got to pump it again.
Right. It's a good thing we can joke about it now.
Just like the high tops of the old days.
What's up, Christopher Reed?
Did you guys see that Patriot Front finally outed themselves as the feds they've been this whole time?
What?
They were trying to infiltrate Proud Boys, and obviously I'm not going to show the video because, don't want to get channel strike, but it's basically Proud Boys pushing back on Patriot Front, and then you had dumbass ex-congressman Adam Kinzinger specifically admit that it was federal agents under the Patriot Front hoods.
What?
With the following tweet saying, these people, all blue check marks, are celebrating a seamlessly mega assault on federal officers. Now, I don't know what this really is, but take a gander at the comments of the patriots who love America.
It's like nobody didn't know that they were feds.
Blowing up your entire operation in one shot.
Man, we never knew.
It's like the same thing with all the other ones here. There's a bunch out of Ohio now that they're calling. They got that Blood Tribe one that's obviously a bunch of feds. Now there's a new one that sprung up in the last 6 to 8 months called White Lives Matter Ohio. That's obviously federal agents faking to be neo-Nazis.
They act like we're that fucking stupid and oblivious to where we'll believe their bullshit, and we see right through it. We've been seeing right through it for fucking years now,
But the
and we've been
general,
calling it out. But they call us conspiracy theories or crazy nut jobs or, this, that, or the other. But yet, pretty much everything we've said in the last however many years has been fucking proven right.
I'm gonna drop the link in the chat again if anyone wants to jump in on the panel.
But the general public that lives in the big cities are still stuck in la la land and believe all what the news say.
Yeah.
What? These guys are white supremacist Republicans? Yep, I'll believe it.
Well, then you have state reps too that are sitting there being like, "Oh, look at all these neo-Nazis out here."
Exactly.
I don't.
They're everywhere.
Specifically, it's that idiot Casey Weinstein here in Ohio that said that, and this is the guy that a month after I was federally swatted committed a hate hoax on himself by printing off tyrant memes and putting them in his own mailbox, misusing USPS system at the time.
Yep.
Never was investigated for that, by the way. Pisses me off to this day.
I don't know why, because I don't follow that son of a bitch, but I get a lot of tweets from that Adam Kissasser.
Yeah.
And some of the shit he says, dude, is like fucking batshit.
That dude was either FBI or CIA. I forget which one it was. Because he was one, and then Alyssa Slotkin from Michigan, who is a mom's man, action anti-gunner, she was the other one. If he was FBI, she was CIA, and if he was CIA, she was FBI. I forget which way it goes.
That's like, the whole, I guess, I don't know if they consider it a conspiracy theory or not. I'm sure it is, but the whole J6 incident, with what was his name? Ray Epps?
Yeah.
We all knew he was fucking, a Fed or Fed related. But,
he's on vacation in California, Christopher Reed.
Yeah. He's supposed to leave. What, is he already gone, or is he fixing to leave?
I think he's getting into California probably right now, actually, honestly. He said late Sunday night, so this is late Sunday night. Well, no, actually, it would probably be a few hours from now, come to think of it, because it's only been 8 o'clock over there in the West Coast, so yeah, it's probably be like 2-3 hours from now, maybe. So he's probably on the road right now. You got what we're saying, the Ray Epps?
I honestly would like to know how many fucking undercover feds were there that day.
I forget which congressman it was. Or maybe it was a senator this week. I forget one of the two. But he was saying something about how there's like all these tens of thousands of hours of footage and stuff like that. And he was basically saying, give this to the American people and you'll get bounty rewards to identify federal agents and these people.
Right.
I'd be fine with it. I'd sit there for fucking 6-7 days doing it myself, honestly, to find a bunch of them. Be like, got one. Where's my 10 grand?
Daniel says they say about 13%. Honda went to California to get a last-minute Pride celebration in.
You have to swing by Seattle for the topless events there.
Oh, fucking hell. That would be fucking hilarious.
One in Seattle today. So.
I think you went to watch the homeless parades.
He took his cardinal hat with him. Jesus.
What does a homeless parade look like? Just a bunch of people with change cups.
Yep. And tin cans banging it to make some noise.
Just clanging your change cup around.
Yeah.
Donate, please. We also have Venmo and Cash App on my smartphone.
Change.
So I had a complete, mind fuck incident happen last week where my mind was just blown. I'm still, wrapping my head around what information I found out. And so I get this message on Facebook from this random dude asking me questions. And the way he worded the question, I was like, okay, this is weird the way you worded it, So I talked to my aunts and asked them this question because the way he phrased his question was, I'm doing my ancestry. I had a DNA match with this person in your family. Then I found your mom through that person. And he actually said your biological mom, and I'm sorry about her passing. And the way he worded that with biological mother, I'm like, why the fuck did you say it that way? Well, it turns out this motherfucker's my brother. That in 1986, my mom gave up a child for adoption.
Wait, what was this?
And he contacted me like a week ago. And my aunts and everyone else in the family confirmed that, yes, your mom did give a baby up for adoption.
Is it a full blood brother or a half blood brother?
It's a half.
Okay. But
still, like, are you fucking kidding me? You know, after all these years, you fucking insanity, dude.
Well, they always say, you know,
the shit you find out when you get older.
So
right.
Yeah.
Now the question is he a millionaire?
No.
Damn it.
I know, right?
Right.
I'll be like, hey, little brother, give your big brother some money.
Exactly. Hey, little. Right.
And what's funny is, his name is Daniel, but it's not the Daniel in the chat.
Are you sure about this?
Yes, I'm sure.
Daniel?
Because my brother, coincidentally enough, he's actually a ginger as well. Go figure.
Mm-hmm. Genes are strong. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's just after 40 fucking years, you find out you have a brother out there, and they contact you out of nowhere. And my mom had a best friend for fucking ever, because she's been around since my sister was like 3 months old. So she's been around all my life. I talked to her about it because they were always real close, and I knew she would know more about anything than anyone else. And she told me not only did my mom give up Daniel in 86, but somewhere around 92 or 93, she gave up another kid for adoption. And she's the only one that told me that. The rest of the people in my family, my aunts and everything I spoke to, know nothing about that. And I mean, I believe what she says. I don't know why she would lie to me. She has no reason to lie to me.
Is it another brother or is it a sister?
No, from what she was saying and from the stuff I found going through my mom's stuff, I believe it to be another brother.
Interesting.
Yeah, Daniel, no, I didn't. But I'm sure if it was actually you would know what I'm talking about. Therefore, it would be you in the chat. So, oh, you were born in '94, eh? You fucking youngin.
Or you was told you was born in '94. You're
Daniel,
actually 10 years older than you actually are.
Right? Are you a ginger? Are you a ginger, and do you look like me, Daniel? Then you'd be the right one. Because he sent me a picture of what he looked like, and there's no denying that he's my brother.
Did you ever take a trip to a clinic called Total Recall?
Kind of feels that way, dude. Like my fucking memories are unraveling, you know, for the most part, in a way, like my childhood was a fucking lie, and
I'm just a construction worker, y'all.
He said, I can confirm I am not a ginger. All right, Maury, calm down. You are not the ginger.
How about the other buddy is trans?
Do what?
The other brother, trans. You have a sister. You have another sister.
No. I've actually talked to him on the phone, and
No, not that one. I'm talking about the other one.
oh, yeah, who knows about that one? That would
Right.
full in the millennial era, so you never know. Steven D, but Daniel, do your drapes match the carpet? Oh,
So here's a
shit.
scenario for you guys. You're walking in the woods and you find this creepy little cave entrance. Do you enter or not?
Yes,
I'll shine a flashlight down it.
because I don't give a fuck.
Now, I'll be worried about a cave in, so I wouldn't enter it.
Yeah,
More
that would
than
be the only
anything.
thing I'd be worried about.
Right.
I mean, what would y'all do if, right now you found out you had a long lost relative, sibling that you knew nothing about? Because I even told him, I said, I didn't find out about you until the day I responded to your text.
We're gonna start doing some brother stuff or sister and brother stuff. We're gonna go to the zoo. We're gonna go to Six Flags. Like, we're about to make up for a lot of stuff right now.
We got to go feed the giraffes.
Right.
I know
We're
he's
going to
down there
Disney World.
by Corpus, so he's pretty far south from me.
We're gonna play some laser tag.
Yeah, he's already talked about wanting to meet up sometime in July. I don't know when yet, but I mean, seriously, what would y'all do if you found out that you had a sibling that you knew nothing about?
I mean, seriously, we're gonna go to the zoo and we're gonna go to Disney World.
Okay, I get you.
Six Flags, and I mean, I think that's my way of trying to bond,
Right.
and talk and get to know
Depends
each
if you're
other,
both into the same things. A
and get
fishing
the
trip would
weirdness
obviously
out.
be a thing.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
Some kind of camping or something, maybe.
Let's see, Justin B. He understands. He said he had two siblings he never met until his mid-20s. And that's good. You helped him turn their life around.
Yeah, or go to the casino, chill there, talk.
Well, see, that's another thing. He said my real father had them after he disappeared disappeared from my mother and my life. See, my biological father did the same thing. He cheated on my mom when I was like 2 or 3 months old. Ended up marrying that bitch and having several kids. So I grew up knowing that I had at least one brother. And I thought it was by him because I was told that by, different people in my family, because mom would never fucking talk about him at all, ever. If I brought it up, it ended up in an argument and a fight. So I learned pretty quickly not to bring that subject up. But I had no clue that mom gave up a child. So yeah, it's a trip, dude. I'm still, processing everything. Especially now it's got me curious. I don't even know how I would start to find out if, the fourth child is true or not, because it's hard to know answers to questions when my mom's gone.
Well, I was going to say, if you were able to find them through like a DNA testing site or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, I'm going to end up doing probably both of them, 23andMe and Ancestry.
Don't use 23andMe.
So that way. Huh?
Don't use 23andMe.
Why?
It's Susan Wojcicki's sister runs that company.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do want to do one of those. With you saying that, I'll probably just do Ancestry, because that's how my brother found my aunt was through Ancestry because he was doing, you know, his tree or whatever you want to call it. And don't do 23andMe. All right, I won't. I do know that they'll, you know, once you do shit like that, you know, your fucking DNA's on file with the government, but
yeah,
what
and they can also use that to find serial killers if they have serial killers in their family. So
yeah, true. I mean, they have found a couple serial killers through their children or you know whatever down the line.
Just make sure they don't try to frame you as one.
Or if he is one.
The ginger smiley face killer.
Right. Why is crops growing so great?
But see, my DNA is out there anyways because I had to do a DNA test to prove that my son was my son when he was born.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm not really worried about that.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do? Clone my ass and replace me?
Yeah, maybe. It would be like the island.
Yeah, but
Right.
they don't clone gingers, so.
Yeah, because we're an abomination according to everybody.
They just make T600 versions of you,
Matt's
where it doesn't quite look like the real thing, but nobody really notices.
been sending me fucking YouTube videos about ginger dart jokes. That's like, what is the only train that a ginger's not allowed to ride?
What?
Soul Train.
Oh, Jesus.
That's not really dark, but it's still fucking funny. Right. Yeah, he keeps fucking texting me that shit. I'm like, ah, fucker. Why must thee hate gingers? We're good people for the most part.
Some. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take up your chat.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm pretty much out of stories anyway, so just, you know, keep talking. I'm looking for stuff.
Daniel said Rand Paul has exposed in the Senate chamber multiple times that all the DNA places like 23andMe are selling your DNA to China. Yeah. I've heard that too. And makes you wonder what the fuck they're doing, why they would want to buy, you know, people's DNA. Is it to clone them? I'm pretty fucking certain that they've had the technology to clone, you know, for fucking what, decades now. Because there's been leaks coming out over the years that, you know, what was it, probably 20 years ago where it got leaked that they cloned a sheep.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm not too far off that they're going to fucking start cloning humans and replacing people.
Probably.
China looking at making another Rona that targets only whites.
Yeah, I've been hearing that for a while now.
Yeah,
I think,
but
honestly, it would be a variant of the shit that came out of Boston, though. That one that's got like a 90% kill rate or whatever.
Mm-hmm. But how would they target? I mean, I don't know how they would specifically target a race or
there was
like a lineage of people. Because I've seen a movie where they did that. They did a biological weapon that only targeted like this certain bloodline.
There was a show. I'm trying to think what it was. It was Amazon that did a shitty American remake of it here in 2020, and then it got canceled up the first season. And I'm trying to think what the name of it's called now.
Might be the same one I'm thinking of.
It was a British series originally that got 2 seasons.
Huh.
And it was about the comic book, obviously. To expose it all. And basically, the second season of that show, it explained just that. It was like, dude creating like a thing that could specifically target by like, it was a DNA sequence or whatever. And then at the very end, they changed it to like junk DNA or whatever that would target like random people that just have like this junk DNA or whatever.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't take out like specific people then.
I don't know. That just seems, very far fetched and very complicated.
Maybe, but
I
a
don't
lot
put
of times,
I don't put shit past the government.
Well, the thing is, a lot of
any
times too, when
country.
it comes to government, well, specifically Hollywood, and then the government too, is with Hollywood, it's predictive programming, and then with the government, it's basically whatever they claim they have. It's usually like 20 to 25 years more advanced than what we know for a fact. So whatever we have out right now for like computers and shit like that, all their stuff is like 20 to 25 years more advanced than ours is. So you potentially have like a screen that's just like you flip up and it's like your entire laptop or whatever then.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like a key screen that you just tap on, that would be the keys.
But if you think about it, shit, just about every one of us, aren't we, like a hodgepodge of fucking heritage? We got, we're
mostly
basically Heinz 57 motherfuckers.
Yeah,
in all
mostly.
the Western countries.
Well, it depends too, because it's like if you go to like Eastern European nations and stuff like that, it's usually like a bunch of those where it's like for instance, I'm part German, part French, part Italian, or part Irish, and then a bunch of Polish on both sides. I'm also Irish on both sides too. So, and then I think there's something else in there too, if I'm not mistaken, like a little bit of Moroccan or something.
I don't know. I've also thought about doing one of those tests to find out, what exactly, I have, whether it's just, like German, Irish, which I know for sure I have. I'm mostly German.
Well, the thing is with those, DNA doesn't specifically can tell you whether you're German or Irish.
True. And there's been a lot of people that they know for sure they have paper trails that tells them what they have in them, in their blood, their DNA. And they took those tests and it didn't show up any of the shit that they said that they know for a fact. So I know those tests aren't accurate.
Yeah, a lot of the tests are BS is what it is. It's just like general testing for everybody kind of thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's why it breaks it down by like, oh, you're 1% Asian, you're 4%, African, Saharan or whatever then, and then it's like 27% Italian, and then it's like, oh, like 94% white or something like that.
Yeah, I've also seen where they had like 1 or 2% that was unidentified, like they couldn't identify what it was.
Yeah. It's getting to be berry season these days.
Daniel, yeah, I can see that. He said sickle cell is a good example of a targeted bioweapon. So I don't know who knows. And Justin earlier, the reason I laughed is because he said, "Yeah, no one wants a left-handed ginger." But I also know I have some Indian in me. I don't know how the percentages, but my wife and I were doing our Amazon tree years ago and traced one of my ancestors to Indian tribe that's known for being in Florida, and it's a Seminole Indian tribe, which was an Indian tribe there, and it consisted of there were I don't know if they were runaway slaves or just black people fleeing from that potential lifestyle, slavery and everything. They ended up going down there with that Indian tribe and, getting married and, mingling and everything, and became known as a Seminole Indian tribe. So I know I have a percentage of that. I just don't know how much.
Well, it's like the same thing with all those people that were, forced into Native American reservations, where their original lineage was like 100% Lakota, and now it's like Lakota and Crow mixed together, or it's like Crow and Mojave or whatever. and then like throw some other random shit in there from like somebody else's splicing and stuff, and then it's like 4 or 5 different Indian tribes.
Mm-hmm. And they want to say that white people, committed genocide, coming to America and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But the fucking Indian tribes that were here, they've been doing that shit long before we ever came here.
Yeah.
They would fucking purposely try to wipe out other Indian tribes because they didn't like them or they hated them, whatever.
Yeah, I was just watching the video where the Apache was trying to wipe out the Comanche.
Mm-hmm.
Then it kind of flipped when the Spanish came. They was trying to, both sides were trying to align themselves with the Spanish to try to wipe out the other tribe.
I was rewatching Into the West this week. Great show, or great miniseries. You've never seen it. It was one of the ones that TNT did like almost 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it basically, it's like sort of like a two-sided thing because it starts out with a Native American tribe, and then it goes into this family of wheelwrights that call themselves the Wheelers. And it's basically their stories over the decades and stuff like that, from the father to the son, and then I think it's eventually like grandson or something at the end. And it's really, really interesting because it shows like sort of like the one chick in there that's like Lakota or whatever, and she's with some trapper guy, and it's like, get down, the Crow are coming.
What's it called again?
Into the West. It was done by Steven Spielberg.
I think I've seen that because that sounds very familiar.
Yeah, it was a really good show. It has a lot of stuff in there. And it hired like a whole bunch of people that nowadays as various actors. It had Josh Brolin in there as a small role. Yeah. It had the Native American guy that was in what's that show? Fargo. A bunch of seasons of that show.
Mm-hmm.
He was in that as one of the guys. Actually, it's funny, the one scene in that. So these dudes are like 13, 14 years old, walk into a tent, and then like come out 1 minute later as like 30-year-old men with kids. It's like, okay, that makes no sense.
Speaking of shows, is tonight's episode from the finale?
Yes. That was a really fucked up ending for a finale too.
I haven't seen it yet, so please, no spoilers.
Okay. Well, it definitely cliffhanged again, or it did not need to.
That doesn't surprise me.
Wait, what show is this?
From?
It's the one that has Harold Perry as the sheriff in it.
Yeah, it was Epix, but now it's MGM Plus.
Yeah, they changed the name.
You can also watch it on certain websites. So it's a really good show.
Yeah. The first
I've just been watching anime.
The second season's kind of
Yeah, the first season was pretty slow in my opinion.
I kind of stopped watching American TV shows altogether.
This one's pretty good. I've been watching anime. Got a nice horror aspect to it.
Yeah, and the mystery of like what the fuck's going on and where they are.
It's very Lost-esque, is the way I would describe it.
Yeah.
Especially how the second season ends here. But yeah, very, very good series. Looking forward to season 3 at some point.
I hope they do it. These days they come out with good shows. Even like in the last 10, 15 years, they've come out with really good shows and then fucking cancel them. Mm-hmm. That's like, I don't know if y'all remember a show. It was back during, I want to say the early and mid 2000s. What was it called? It was about I think he was FBI or some shit. And it was like some kind of like time travel show. What the fuck was it called? I remember an airplane came out of nowhere, ended up landing and crashing on the fucking highway, one of the major highways in town.
Was it Journeyman?
No. Continue the conversation and I'll go look it up real quick. It was a really good show.
I mean, there's a bunch of those.
Flash Forward, that's what it was called.
Yeah. That was a good series. I enjoyed that.
But it only got one season.
Yeah, same thing with Journeyman. Same thing with Invasion. Same thing with Surface. They were all decent shows, and they all got fucked over after the first season.
Just like Jericho, it barely got a fucking second season.
It only got a second season because people were like, "Bring that shit back."
Yeah, and I don't know why they didn't do that to get a third season.
Yeah, probably Hollywood doing Hollywood stuff. Came too close to reality is probably what it was.
Probably.
Like, oh, Dick Cheney's master plan. Can't let that out again.
We made that mistake a couple times. We don't need to do it again. Fuck. We gave a little too much away. I think they literally count on the populace to be fucking ignorant or, just blissfully just going through the life like it's a roller coaster or some shit.
Well, I mean, depending. There are people on all sides of the factors of that one, unfortunately, and it's because they are working like crazy.
Because I guarantee they could make a movie right now and make it like one of the best movies we've seen in years. And it could literally spell out shit they've done and shit they plan on doing. And people would just see it as, oh, that was a great movie. But that'll never happen in, today's day and age. You know what I mean? Because, people are fucking stupid.
Just like
they see
Rob
what they
Schneider
want to
said recently in some interview where he was talking about he was basically discussing predictive programming and then the 2020 lockdowns and everything else like that, and said the only good thing that came out of it was it showed all the little Hitlers in our society.
Yeah.
And he's very right about that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially within the governments.
Daniel says if they leave from where it is they might as well have not even made it because we barely know anything more than we knew the first episode. Yeah, and that's one thing that's kind of pissing me off is they show a bunch of good shit, but they're not explaining anything at all. It goes to like, most of, if not all the zombie movies that we've seen that's out, they throw you either right as it's starting or as it's already happened, and they're just surviving. They never explain what caused the outbreak, what it is, anything. It's just, oh, bam, zombie movie, you got to survive. That's it. And From's a lot like that. They throw in people in these scenarios, but they're not giving us any explanation of what's going on, where they are, what these things are, this, that, and the other. And it's just like, it's very fucking frustrating because, they could at least give more information and clues.
I'm wondering if it's partly lazy writing on their part or if it's for the fact that you have them trying to get enough seasons out of it to make it worth it or whatever. And that's why they're doing like such a slow burn on it, which again, it's like, I have no problem if you're going to do that, but explain that to begin with in some interview or something.
Yeah.
And be like, doing this, like, even just say, like, we're going to do a seven seasons show here, and this is why we're slow burning the first couple seasons or whatever. Like, look, next season, it'll get kicked up a little bit here and there.
Yeah, my worry is that, they've got us, kind of hooked, I guess you would say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty good. Like, especially the second season's gotten a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
I see it either going one of two ways. One, they'll basically never explain what's going on, kind of leave it up to your imagination type scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Or when they do finally explain after all this time that's gone by, however long time it is, it's going to be a shitty fucking explanation, and it's not going to be an explanation of what we want or deserve or need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to be, like you said, lazy writing. It's going to be a lazy explanation. that basically, in a way, doesn't explain nothing at all.
And that's an issue right there as well, obviously. Yeah, it's unfortunate, and I don't know how to fix that, honestly.
Yeah. But I'm definitely gonna watch it after, our chat ends. That's what I'm gonna do is pop that on and watch it. Because, like I said, I'm hooked. And I'm actually kind of surprised that what's his name? The guy that plays Boyd again?
Harold Peregrine.
Yeah, he's got a weird last name.
Yeah.
From the shit that I've seen him in before, he doesn't last too long. So it's kind of surprising that he's lasted this long.
I think the thing with him was, in a lot of cases, like especially if you look at him in Lost and you look at him in like something like Z-Nation or whatever, he is a decent actor if you give him the chance. The problem is that those shows are just like, we just need an established character now, or semi-established character now, to do what we want with, and then they just sort of threw him to the side is what it was. Like, even if you go back and watch like Lost with him as Michael, he was a terrible fucking character in that show, and it was specifically because he was written as a terrible character. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem. When you have a writer writing someone as a terrible character, you're just not going to come off likable, and you're going to be like, yes, kill this guy off.
Yeah. And I thought he did a good job in the little bit that he was in Z-Nation.
Yeah.
I think he could have led that show, for a couple of years at least. And then had him kick the bucket in some, life-saving event or some shit.
The thing that bothered me was Z-Nation. I forget if it was the first or second season of that show, and they killed off the one dude in the basement area there or whatever.
In the stairwell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I like that actor guy. And to me, that was like, this is some bullshit, dude.
Yeah, I agree. And it was.
And I think that's kind of where I fell out with that show
too.
at that point. Because I was like, you had so much potential with this character, and you just off this dude like that. What the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm. After a while, it got a little old because it did it so many fucking times. But I like the Groundhog Day episode with him and Addie in that junkyard area where they were, sleeping.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been so long since I've seen that show. I don't know if I saw that episode or not, or if I remember it.
He kept waking up and like living the same fucking day over and over, but with different outcomes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Tulsa King. I'm not sure. I heard rumors. That's the one with Sylvester Stallone, right?
Yeah.
I heard that he's not coming back in that show.
I have not watched the entire first season of that series yet. I think I watched episode 1 and maybe 2.
I haven't seen.
I watched it. It's pretty good.
I haven't watched it yet myself, but I did hear that he's not coming back. So it may not come back for a second season, Daniel. If it does, it's coming back with a different lead actor, which will probably fuck up the dynamic of the show.
Right.
But I don't remember the reason why he, I heard that he's not coming back. So. And I could be wrong.
Probably other stuff.
I know he's fucking getting old as shit. But who knows?
Change topics for a sec. When the left tells you something, believe them. NYC drag marchers chant, "We're here, we're queer, we're coming for your children."
Yeah, I saw that video.
Fucking insane.
But if you listen, the other people are chanting something different. It's the guy behind the camera is the main one that says that. And I think one or two other people said it as well. But for the most part, it was the cameraman.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if you listen to that video, the other people marching are saying something entirely different.
Yeah, I think it's just people trying to escalate.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that escalation is going to lead to something very, very bad in this country.
Uh-oh. Every time what?
Sorry, that was my tablet going off.
Oh, you're good.
Hey, while tablet goes off.
I thought we had a chick join the chat. I was like, holy shit.
Vagina.
Yeah.
No, this isn't that one time on Honda's chat with that British girl that never came back.
Yeah.
That's
Will you
twice
marry
a
me?
British girl never came back.
Yeah. She's like, can you marry me? I'm like, fucking Honda, I swear.
Like, goddamn.
Finally get a chick on the chat. And he runs her off
Right.
with the marriage proposal.
That, and I think she thought it was more of a pop culture channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't realize
Did
it was
like
conspiracy based or whatever.
Yeah. Like she would have been good for like Matt's Saturday chats or something.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah, the geek chat for sure.
Yeah, the geek chats and stuff. Yeah.
Does anybody know what happened with him not doing that last night?
Yeah. I'm just not going to say, though. It's not my place.
That's fine.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I figured it was something family related, so.
Everything's all right, though. It's nothing like major, nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, cause I seen that I seen that he sent me a link for that Saturday chat, but I guess he just didn't do it.
Well, I noticed
he
he posted
cancel
the
it.
link in the Discord, and I was clicking on it, and then all of a sudden it disappeared on me.
Oh, he had to cancel? Okay.
Yeah, he canceled it like literally last minute.
Yeah, I was waiting in the back chat, and all of a sudden it just went away, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And then I noticed it was on there. He's like, yeah, canceled.
But everything's all good, though. So.
Oh, yeah. He's good. Yeah, I'm sure he'll explain what happened when he comes back, but like I said, it's just not my place.
Right.
That's fine.
Honda should have got a one-way flight.
We don't need a California Honda. He comes all indoctrinated.
Yeah, I know, right?
This is why you need to have 10-round mags, buddy.
Right.
You should only have one revolver or a double barrel.
I'm telling you guys, a bullet button is a good idea.
Yeah. And he comes back with, color streaks in his hair.
Right. Highlights a lip ring.
Yeah, a pride flag hat.
Right.
These fin grips are the best thing I've ever seen happen to a gun.
He's gonna come back and he's gonna have a S&M or BDSM, whatever it's fucking called.
Right.
Leather outfit, face mask.
Do like some silicone wear.
One of them
Yeah,
dog
he's gonna
masks,
be like.
you mean?
He's gonna be like that dude in the fucking MRI. Just be sitting there through the chat with a butt plug,
A bunch of latex,
waiting to go to an MRI.
A bunch of latex outfits.
Yeah. He's got like, you ever seen American Horror Story, where they had that black leather outfit? Yeah, he's gonna come back wearing one of those on the chat.
I never watched that series.
Yeah, the dude had a name. I forget what his name was, though, and then it became a chick later on in the American Horror Stories series.
Yeah. I think it was like, wasn't it like Rubber Man or something like that?
Something. I think it was Rubber Woman, if I'm not mistaken, after that.
Yeah. It was actually a good show. I enjoyed American Horror Story. It got a little
The
weird
first
and
season,
stuff.
I think, was good. It was like everything after that sort of... You could tell it started to go slightly downhill with each season.
I like the Roanoke season.
And then that last, I think it was the last season of it or whatever, it was just like legitimately about AIDS virus.
Yeah.
And it was like the AIDS virus is like this crazy monster thing. And it's like, this is just stupid.
That
Why
one
the fuck is this a
season,
thing?
the one season though was pretty fucking hilarious where it was focusing on politics when Trump beat Hillary.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That was fucking hilarious, dude. They all fucking lost their shit.
And it was supposed to be like some white nationalist group or whatever then.
Yeah, Chris Reed said it comes back with Ray Ray's personality.
This is why Antifa's the good guys, y'all.
Mm-hmm. They're out. I'm an ally.
Oh, he's gonna come out as transitioning.
Yeah, he's gonna become EHonda for sure.
Right.
Like for real.
He's gonna start wearing the blue dress.
Yep. That's why Night Strike never got it, because Honda ended up with it.
Yep, Honda's resizing it right now.
Hemming it up the size.
Jesus, man, that's fucking funny as fuck. I don't care who you are. I was gonna, find out. We're all saying this shit.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like, fuck you guys.
Guess I'm gonna need a new panel next week.
Did he say if he was going to be back for his Tuesday chat?
I think he's taking Tuesday off too, so I'll be taking the takeover then too as well.
Okay.
Like I said, that Tuesday I might be here or I might come in late. Depending on how long y'all go. Because I do got to work that Tuesday.
So even after you did that, Daniel, he still didn't buy a blue dress? That's crazy. Daniel said, no, after Honda sent that dress, I sent Night Strike $80 to buy a new dress. It's because Honda didn't send it. He kept it for himself. He pretends that he's that guy from Silence of the Lambs.
And Night Strike still could have bought a blue dress with that $80.
Yeah.
Actually, right, if you went to the Salvation... Right. Actually, if you went to the Salvation Army, could have bought himself a couple of dresses. For $80.
Oh, damn. He could have probably bought fucking at least 8 of them.
Right.
Well, depending on size.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. Just go to Lane Bryant. Get 2 dresses.
Pansy. Yep, I agree. Well, we already know they're all fucking pansies anyways. They couldn't even handle a canister strumming, Daniel. Yeah, $5 dress at Goodwill and pocketed $75. That's a very good point. But yeah, they couldn't even handle that canister strumming. Fucking pansies.
Hey, my last job uniform I got from Salvation Army, it was like 67 cents. Something like that. Like,
yeah. You can actually get some good shit from Goodwill.
Well, you used to be able to. Now, all them singers have made it so that everything's more expensive now.
Well, not only that, they're for years now, because I've seen stories on it and everything where Goodwill employees, when they go through everything to, clean it, whatever, and then put it on the floor, they typically keep the good shit for themselves and put the rest of the crap out.
Right. Although last time I went, they had a Nintendo 64 on display. It was like $200 or something.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. They don't know what they have, I guess. I don't think they really do their research. So they overprice that shit way too much. Yeah. I've noticed that scene.
I mean, if it's in good working condition, like it's almost flawless, I might see like 175 maybe.
Honestly, for something like that, I wouldn't pay no more than $40-$50.
And I think it did have a memory card in it. Nah, for a pristine Nintendo 64, yeah, you paying more for that.
Mm-hmm. I've seen some at various flea markets and stuff that are around like I think 50 or 60, and it came with like a game or two. And then they had their games for like $3 to $5 a piece.
Yeah. Topic change real quick. Leo.
Yeah.
You said, I know we've talked about this before a couple of times, but are you still in the market for a 40?
Yeah.
Well, there's 2 options where you can get either, I don't know if they have any more, but I saw the other day they had Glock 22s, law enforcement trade-ins, for deliciously counted 299 baked beans.
Hmm.
And then I saw elsewhere where they had the M&P for, what was it, 269 baked beans, if I counted correctly.
Okay.
It's just a public service announcement, okay?
Right.
So I know you said you were in the market, and when I saw them, I kind of thought of you, and I just haven't had time because I've been dealing with a bunch of shit and sleeping.
Yeah, no problem. Right. I'd save a little bit more since I spent my 40 money on a 9, right, on another 9. So, oops. Well, it was right in my hands, so I was like, might as well.
Jesus, Daniel. He said, I think I paid like $550 for a new in the box Nintendo 64 a couple years ago.
Oh, new in the box? Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, if it's new in the box, still factory sealed, that's definitely going to draw a premium because it's never been fucking used or anything. So I could see it going much higher. But fuck, even 550, dude. Jesus Christ.
Right. So
Now the question
that's a
is,
new PlayStation. No, a new Xbox Series S.
exactly. The question I got for you,
X.
Daniel, is it still new in the
X.
box and you bought it just to keep that way, or did you buy it to play? So answer me that.
Did you guys see the bridge collapse at the Yellowstone River?
Yeah, I saw that, dude. That just, I don't know. That's fucking very suspicious. Very suspect.
Yep. East Palestine 2.0, what they really wanted to happen.
Or at this point, dude, it's like what, 6.0, 8.0?
Well, I'm saying it's 2.0 from the fact of that's what they actually wanted to happen in East Palestine, for it to go directly into the waterways and everything else like that. Whereas this one directly did go into the fucking waterway. Yeah, they're cutting people's water off and everything else like that now, apparently.
Yeah. They said they sent out some kind of public message saying limit your water. Yeah, I don't remember what they said. It was like, did it say in the article that like limit to your water to what, like a gallon a day or?
Let me check.
Okay, so you just bought it for, I got display, and he said, yeah, it's new in the box. I got a couple ones to play. I never owned a 64. I had friends that had them, and I obviously, played video games with them. Even my little brother, I think, had one. I just, for whatever reason, never got one. I was always, PlayStation or Nintendo, or Super Nintendo. Shit, I remember the first video game I ever played was an Atari. I grew up playing the Atari.
Yeah, the first video game home console I ever played was an Atari that my cousin had. But my first owned video game that I owned myself was a Super Nintendo.
Mine was a Nintendo, then Super Nintendo.
We first had an Atari that my mom got from her best friend at the time. It was her son's originally. And they're like, yeah, the boys don't play this anymore. Here you guys go. And it came with this whole box of games. Probably like 30, 40 games in there.
I actually got a Super Nintendo hooked up to my TV right now.
And then eventually we bought a regular Nintendo. And then
on both of those consoles, I always loved Mario.
I had a PS1 and a PS2, and I think that was the last console I ever had.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I also had a Sega Genesis at some point in there too.
Sega.
I had a Sega Saturn.
And then for me, it was more the handhelds, from Game Boy to Game Boy Color to everything else in that line, all the way up to everything before the Nintendo Switch.
Never had any of those. I grew up very poor, so it wasn't until, and like the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo that I got as a Christmas present from my grandparents.
Well, that's what it was for a lot of those gaming console things, or it was in some cases. I think when it came to some of the Game Boys, I had to basically save up money and buy it myself.
Yeah. Daniel said it said they spill tranny fluid in the water and not to drink it unless you're low on tranny fluid.
I'm always low on tranny fluid though.
Yeah, they shut down the intake valves for the downstream people, so it didn't say anything other than that though. But again, this is why you don't hire a failed mayor from South Bend, Indiana, as your transportation secretary.
Right. Daniel says, I feel like Game Boy Color is racist.
That's why I have a Game Boy Pocket. It's silver.
The best game I ever played on Game Boy Color was the Tetris DX game, or XD game. I think it's how I pronounce it.
I played the original Game Boys because, friends had them and stuff. And even throughout the years, like a friend of mine years ago had one of those PSPs. I never really cared for those. Like the original Game Boy was cool because it was like, oh, this is like the new cool thing.
I still have a PSP someplace. It's not charged though.
That's like what were those other ones? The DS, like Nintendo DS or whatever, were kind of like the.
Yeah.
I just didn't like them.
Me either.
They were weird, to play. I didn't feel right holding them, and the screen way too fucking
It takes some getting
small.
used to, and the thing is too, it depends on the game you're playing on it as well.
In my experience, the games that you got to play fucking sucked.
Well, yes and no. Because you think about it, you look at the original Game Boy, and that was in the era where they first started doing Pokemon games and stuff like that. And as a child, obviously, I'd play those.
I didn't,
and that was pretty much a mainstay for me anyway.
For me, when I had a Game Boy, I was playing with Batman. Well, I still got a Game Boy, but when I had my original Game Boy, I don't even know what I did with those games. I played Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Fall of the Foot Clan, Batman, Tetris, Mario.
Well, I'm saying like the games that my friends had for the Game Boys and the other stuff, they sucked. Now my one of the favorite ones that I played, and I did play on the PSP because it was my friends. I like the God of War.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually a fun fucking game.
There was some Avengers game for the PSP. I forget what it was called. Maybe it was like Marvel something. I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of fun. You could play as like Captain America and stuff like that, and like a bunch of other Avenger people and stuff like that. Fantastic Four was one of the sets of people you could play as, and you just kept building them up to like stronger and stronger levels.
Okay, since everything's happened, no one has had a chat or anything, so I've got a question. Y'all have been watching this whole fucking Wagner shit, right?
Yeah.
To some
in
extent,
Russia.
yeah.
Do y'all really believe that there was an agreement reached? Because I also heard that they turned back and marched to fucking Moscow, even after the whole shit coming out, saying that him and Putin reached an agreement.
Yeah, from what I heard.
Go ahead.
Yeah, from what I heard, they was marching back to Ukraine now.
Well, see, I heard the opposite. That they turned around after the agreement was reached and basically said fuck it and marched to Moscow and took something over or some base or something. Because the agreement that I read was whatever his fucking name is, the leader of the Wagner group.
Yeah.
Was supposed to be exiled, and then the troops were going to be basically absorbed into some unit into the Russian military. But my thing is, Putin also came out and said he's going to do whatever he can to put a stop to this because it's treason. They're committing treason for it. I don't see him letting that slide. I think they'll be lucky at the very least to get a trip to the gulag. If this is all true, they did really reach an agreement. I see firing squads in the future. Personally, you know what I mean?
Possibly.
If he lets it slide, that kind of sends a message to anyone else in Russia or even in the military that they could do the same thing and basically get away with it to an extent or be more successful. Yeah, see, Daniel says they're all getting pardons, supposedly. And that's what I heard, too. I don't know if they should trust that. I don't remember who said it, but it's the shortest civil war ever. I think Jolly ended up saying that.
Sure.
And it's like, why go through all that and do all that just to get like 2 hours from Moscow and be like, oh, we reached a peace agreement? It makes no fucking sense. I don't know if to believe the information coming out like it's a distraction because of, they actually are destroying a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I see what Daniel's saying. He probably just going to send them to the front lines of Ukraine, and then just let the Ukrainians to take care of it.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Because wasn't like 20 or 25,000 soldiers that were marching on Ukraine in the Wagner Group?
The thing is, would there even be enough soldiers to actually? I mean, the Russian soldiers had to not have the willingness to fight.
I know a lot of them are, fighting the Ukrainians right now, and I know Putin held a bunch back, to protect him around Moscow and everything. But I also heard he ended up fleeing Moscow because they were marching. And I think, even though cause there's like 20 or 25,000 soldiers that he had in the Wagner Group, that's enough to fuck some shit up, especially the equipment that they had.
As far as fleeing, when they said Putin flee, I think that's just a safety protocol they have to do anyway.
I know people were calling them cowards for fleeing, and calling them all kinds of names.
Right, which is bullshit because, it's part of a safety protocol. That's what you got to do, right?
Yeah.
Right, just because Zelensky is willing to stay, shit, like.
I don't know. I find everything going on with all that is very suspicious. And there's more to it than what we're being told.
Right, just like if a foreign army or if like there was a military marching down Washington, I'm quite sure protocols is in place to take the president out of Washington. Period.
Yeah. Daniel says some people are saying Putin threatened to wipe Rostov off the map if they didn't accept the deal. Is Rostov where they're from, or I hadn't heard anything about that, so I don't know what Rostov is. Dead Horse said it was never going to be a civil war. It was all about one thing: getting Russia to admit that it attacked the Wagner Group camp, and they wanted reparations for the men killed. Well, I can see that, but I mean, you're risking life and liberty and freedom by marching on Putin. So some shit was going to go down whether you committed the full on march and whatever to Russia, to Moscow, the Kremlin, or like they did now, accept a deal. But either way, you're still pegged as a treasonous group. And Poo isn't, the forgiving type. So I just see bad things for those men if they actually get absorbed into one of the Russian units or whatever. And with, the leader, I can't remember his name, being exiled. I don't know. To me, that's either that he's in a gulag or, he, ended up hanging himself and then shooting himself in the back of the head a couple times.
In Russia, they like their poisons more.
Yeah, see, Daniel, he says, I agree. It's pretty odd that they crossed the Rubicon and were forgiven. I think that was
all for show.
Like, exactly, yeah. It's basically him saving face in the world's eye, I guess trying to seem sympathetic or
I'm just a good
lenient
guy in this way.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not the evil person. It's Zelensky and Ukraine that they're the evil ones, and
yeah, they're all evil.
See, I'm forgiving these people. I'm pardoning them, but behind closed doors, he's like, yeah, y'all are all getting Clinton.
Arkansas-sided.
I don't know. It's very fishy. I don't know. And then it's like, with all this sub shit, and then all of a sudden, bam, Russia again. This is what's going on in Russia. And you barely hear about the fucking sub if it wasn't for us.
Well, it's not only that. I mean, you look at everything else that happened this week over the whole sub thing, and it was various things with Epstein emails and JP Morgan that nobody talked about that were all mysteriously deleted, like 47,000 of them or something like that. Or actually, it might have been 47 million. I'm thinking about it. And then you had, I forget what else happened. There's a few other things. There's a video I found on Twitter last night about it, where this guy was saying like 5 or 6 different things that had happened. And yet, meanwhile, you got the mainstream media being like, well, it's Tuesday, they're running out of oxygen. Oh, it's Wednesday, they're running out of oxygen. Oh, it's Thursday, we found the wreckage that we knew about 4 or 5 days ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was going to say, they didn't come out that day that they launched to go down there is when they went missing, and it actually, the vessel imploded because the person that built it, bypassed a lot of the safety features.
Yeah, Navy knew on Sunday that it was kaput, and they didn't say shit about it.
Yeah. And it was controlled by an Xbox controller.
Yeah, well, similar technology anyway.
I know, I'm just...
More or less the same thing, Bluetooth ready and things like that is what it was.
Why would you do a Bluetooth link sub that's going that far fucking down? That signal is not gonna... No, I mean, that's retarded. It's fucking... I don't know. It's all smoke and mirrors, in my opinion, because how do we know for sure that actually happened? Because that could easily be like AI, or it could just be like, oh, just because we say this is true.
The thing I think is most telling about the whole situation, from what I was reading anyway, was there was a dude who was discussing how the one guy that was in the sub had direct ties to the chemicals in East Palestine. And then 2 of the other guys were like some kind of UFO dudes or something like that that had like non-profit organizations that were studying like extraterrestrial research and like outer limits space travel and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, very fishy in general.
Oh, yeah.
And now, Daniel, of course, we can't actually confirm that there's even wreckage down there because we don't have the power to go down there, is what it is.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I'm not believing that this really happened, because all this time we've never had the technology, especially in a small sub like that, to go that deep. Even with our military subs, they can't go that deep, right?
No.
Without starting to fucking crunch the sub and then implode.
Well, he said like the subs that James Cameron had did.
Yeah, well, yeah.
The Titanic a couple of times.
Daniel says, I'm not convinced the sub thing wasn't a major insurance job. It's like the Titanic.
Could have been.
That's all Titanic was an insurance scheme. Because, I don't think they've fully proven it, though. So this is just a theory that the guy that owned the Titanic swapped it out with the Olympia.
Yeah,
and that's what actually they sunk,
partially
because
disproven at this point.
And then the guy that owned it conveniently had all his, quote unquote rivals in the game on board of the ship when it went down. And he was supposed to be there, but left the day that they launched. So I don't know.
Yeah.
These days, it's so easy for the government to manipulate the truth, and we just accept it because it's the government. They won't lie to us. They're batting 1,000.
Yeah, I don't think the government will ever lie to us.
Yeah. They're for the people, of the people, by the people.
Yep.
Because they love we the people so much, they just knock on our doors.
Yeah. Come and knock on our doors. I'll be waiting for you.
They definitely protect the Bill of Rights.
Companies do. Do what?
I said they definitely protect the Bill of Rights.
Oh yeah, they love and respect and help enshrine our God-given rights.
They come with
and they'll never do anything to harm them.
Of course, it's the UN Bill of Rights, but nonetheless, the Bill of Rights.
Daniel said, imagine what the life insurance of a billionaire payout is. Oh, shit,
depends on how many policies they got them at that point.
Right.
And that's why his stepson be going to Blink 182 concerts. Two-part celebrating.
I'm getting paid, motherfucker.
Right.
Daniel, that's fucked up. I read the one right before that. He said, keep in mind, until the publicly disclosed the sub had been found, the families were able to file for new life insurance policies / make changes to the current ones. That's fucked up. That is fucked up. Because if they really did that, if this event actually took place, you know how fucked up that is to sit there and be like, oh, I'm taking out another life insurance policy or amending the one that's already in place.
Yeah, let me do a double indemnity clause on this bitch, act of God.
Yeah, right. That's just fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense when you think about it, though. There was one guy who said, I guess he was doing a test run on that sub or whatever, and said you could actually hear like the stress cracks happening when he was doing a test drive of it or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't think they was about to pop apart and everything else like that, and that was like 50 feet underwater or something. It's like, goddamn, dude.
I don't think they made it to the bottom before they imploded. I think they got maybe half to 3/4 of the way, and then it imploded, and obviously the wreckage just went to the bottom.
Yeah. Well, they showed that illustration video of it. I forget exactly how far down it was, but yeah, it just showed how it was like it would just like crush together or whatever, like a pop can.
Yeah.
Like you're just stomping on the pop can and just crushing it to nothingness. And it was instantaneous, obviously, if it did go down the way they claim it does. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's not like they just sat there and were like, "Oh, I'm so sad that we're all gonna die here." Our last oxygen breaths was just like, "No, you think you're going down?" All of a sudden, it's just like gone.
Uh-huh. Could you imagine being on that thing when that happened?
You'd have no time to react. Your spirit would probably be like, "We're still going down to the bottom, right?" Pilot guy's like, yeah, we're almost there, buddy. And then you're like, what is that weird white light in the clouds?
I wouldn't have got in that motherfucker personally because the fact that once they got in, they sealed the hatch.
You're being welded in.
Yeah, that's no, because even if say they had a malfunction and never started down and they were just floating on the surface, there's no way to get out of that son of a bitch, because they welded you in. They sealed the hatch shut.
You have to have like escape pod or something.
You would run out of air floating on the surface.
Yeah, crazy. Either way. You guys got any last thoughts? Because I think we're going to end this one in a minute or two.
What we need now is some common sense submarine control. 5 lives is too many.
And remember, after you pee, if you shake it more than 3 times, it's masturbation.
Yeah, right. Stephen D, it was a mass aquatic death situation. Dead Horse, Ocean Gate was just another cult worshiping a deep sea god similar to Heaven's Gate.
Any last thoughts, Ohio, yourself?
Yeah. If you live in the state of Ohio, on August 8th, we're having an election cycle to pass a 60% majority in our to amend our state constitution, and it needs to pass. So vote yes on issue 1 come August 8th. And we'll see you guys on Tuesday. If anybody wants to jump in the back chat, I'm going to drop the link again to the StreamYard link. But other than that, we're out for the day.
Had to come with a real one. Had to come with